There's no famous lighting designers, but but there are well-known lighting designers within the theater community or within the lighting community. Yeah, that was a big reason I was so ambitious in the earlier part of my career, like trying to be everywhere and do everything and like make my way to Broadway or whatever it was in order to be seen as special. And I think part of my growing up process has been like finding specialness in everyday life and not needing it to have that validation all the time. So the process of lighting design begins with the text, and that can be, in the case of Measure for Measure, a play, but we also use the text loosely to describe, you know, a piece of music or a dance, anything that is the content that you're supporting. For Measure, you know, we read the play and spent some time kind of thinking about the play and having a personal response to it. And then we got together with the director, Karen Magaldi, to explore how this physical world might be manifested. The set designer, who's also myself, spent some time developing the space, and that's what you see behind me is this, this space that is very transformable, that feels like it suits all of the locations of the play without being literally tied to any single one of them. There does need to be some proficiency, you know, like someone that exhibits that they like get it or at least will put in the time and effort to get it. I feel really fortunate because fortunately on this show I have this amazing co-designer, so I've been able to transfer all that anxiety to her. All right, look at that lighting.
Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks really good.
I don't know, I think I always did photography and stuff when I was in high school. I now know that I was really intrigued by the lighting, but I don't think I realized that or thought that when I was doing it. I could learn about all the different design elements that I probably wouldn't be able to learn about in film school, but then like apply it to film. I had never been in that world at all. Like I did set one time. No one actually saw me, but I was there. I was part of it. But before that, I hadn't been involved in theater in any regard. I like it. The people are very nice and welcoming. Today we're doing, what is it, day 3 of lighting hang? Day 4 of lighting hang?
So today we got the ceiling up, which is really exciting. Yesterday there was a lot of team kind of building all of the pick points and doing all the counterweight, and now we got it up in the air. So we're adjusting trim heights and making sure everything works right there. And then what's tricky about the lighting situation is we want to get the lights as low as possible to get a really beautiful raking angle coming in from behind. But if they're too low, they're in view of the audience. So Jill and I were setting those heights of those pipes so that they're just out of view and we're still getting all the angles that we need. The students are hanging what's called a goalpost, which is a horizontal pipe that's supported by other pipes, and we're going to hang 16 color-changing pars on it so that we can create a beautiful line of light. You know, light is so much about revealing space, and so I think part of it is we really wanted to find a light plot, a layout for the space that would allow us to support all of the various things that the play needed. So this is the lighting plot. This is a document that Jill and I made to show to the electricians exactly where we want each light and what kind of light we want it to be, and what color it gets, and how they work together in systems to create something that's useful.
So these are the catwalks. I'm dramatic, but I think I'm like 100 feet up. We hang lights on these beams so that they come from the front of house all of these different things up here. Each box has like a little number up here, and that's how you know what address or what dimmer it's on, so that you can tell the board and the programs. Yeah, I think being up here helps me like appreciate everything about what goes into each look and each show. The electricians and all of the technology that goes into all of this, because it's insane, and you like each individual light has to be patched and organized, and it like shows just the intricacies of our brains, which is really cool, and just how creative and how smart we have to be to know how all this works.
So focusing a light is the opportunity to go through, well, we focus the whole light plot. So we go through all of the lights in the light plot, and methodically, one by one, figure out exactly where they want to point. And then we spend some time shaping them. And it's led by the lighting designers, but it's basically a way to shape each light so that when we start to turn them on during the tech rehearsal, we have a clear sense of what they're going to do.
It's about 7 now. Rehearsal's about to start. We are going to stay, or I'm going to stay until 10 to watch rehearsal so that I can take notes of what cues need to happen. Right now, Rachel is configuring color palettes. Very exciting. So Rachel works with Ronnie, who is the lead production electrician, and me, helping me out as my programmer. Basically being the star, basically bringing my ideas to life. Like, cause what I really want is I want there to be like the psych lights are on, like the psych, the top and bottom psych lights, to have the psych be a color, and then these goalpost pars come in a different color in a super strong line. Like, that's what I really wanted.
Day 400.
Day 8,000,005. I've been here since 10:30, and we're gonna be here until 10 tonight.
Tech is the opportunity for all of the production elements to come together, where you start to look at lighting and sound and scenery and costumes and performers, and you work slowly through the show in order to kind of make all of those moments. And usually it takes quite a few hours over the course of, say, a weekend or even a week. And then by the end of it, you've kind of gotten through the show, so you have a kind of rough draft of how all those moments are going to work.
36
Jill,
through
this
40.
is looking good.
36 through 40 in my rustish.
So last night Jill made a really beautiful lighting look with this like beautiful sliver of light lighting the ceiling piece just so, and revealing it in 3D space. And I leaned over and said, "This is why I do lighting." What it was in that moment is there's a kind of like spiritual experience of seeing something revealed in three-dimensional space, and how light works both indirectly and directly, where it can affect the viewer. Like, they perceive light with their conscious mind, but it also kind of affects them subconsciously. And I think it's really beautiful when it does both of those things. So there was something about that sliver of light hitting the ceiling that just felt transcendent.
Non-prescriptive.
That's right.